Hello, I'm Supervisor Anne Marie Graham-Hudak, and welcome to the Supervisor Summary, where we highlight items of interest from the most recent Board of Trustees meeting and other news of the day. It was another very large and interesting agenda on September 26th, so let's get into it. First, the board appointed a new member to the Community Development Block Grant Advisory Council, which is an advisory group to the Canton Board of Trustees. The 7-member advisory council reviews requests for CDBG project funding, holds the required public hearings, makes program recommendations to the board, and provides guidance for the overall CDBG program. The board appointed Antarjot Singh Bains to fill the vacancy. Antarjot has 12+ years of engineering and project management experience, but is also passionate about volunteering and serving the Canton community. The interview committee quickly recognized his enthusiasm for serving Canton Township and feels CDBG will be a perfect fit for him. In another committee appointment, the board approved Hussein Jeffrey Mallard for the Canton Tax Board of Review. This is a 3-member board required by law to hear property assessment appeals, meets 2 times per year in March and December. Mallard has 30 years of experience in healthcare business and operations and is also an entrepreneur. Next, the board approved a letter of agreement between Canton Township and the Police Union and another between Canton Township and the Police Command Union. Due to public safety shortages impacting Southeast Michigan and the rest of the country, Canton Township and the POAM have reached an agreement to enhance wages and allow for lateral pay for lateral police officer hires. Canton Township is always striving for good rapport with its labor force. Letters of agreements are shared understandings between Canton and its collective bargaining units in areas of concern not covered by the current collective bargaining agreement. The board then approved an intergovernmental agreement with Wayne County in order to accept $150,000 in funding for the Western Wayne County Therapeutic Recreation Program, of which Canton serves as the administrative lead. More than 140 individuals with disabilities register for Canton's programs and camps designed for specifically those with physical, emotional, cognitive, and developmental impairments each year. Item G6 asks the board to consider waiving the bidding process and approving the repair and replacement of gate operators and the DPW facility on Sheldon Road. As there is only one vendor that has experience working on this specific equipment, the board approved the request. Next, the board approved a couple of purchase orders for engineering services. The first was to cover the additional survey and design work related to Canton's Sidewalk Gap program, and the second is for the purchase of a water main easement. The next 2 items of business concern paving projects in the community. The board approved both Al's Asphalt Paving Company and Wade Trim to cover expenses associated with the construction and rehabilitation of the North Pavilion Heritage Parking Lot and cart path improvements at Pheasant Run Golf Course. While working on the North Pavilion lot, additional costs for tree removal, path alignment, and significant storm damage were unforeseen, necessitating a budget amendment. The cart path work is to complete the other 18 remaining holes along the golf course, as Al's successfully repaired and replaced the north 9 holes last year. Then, the fire department requested that the board waive the bidding process and approve the sole source purchase of the Eligard patient positioning system. This specialized system is the only device that precisely and consistently positions a patient for CPR and airway management, as this purchase will enable our fire department to continue with the highest quality CPR to those that experience cardiac arrest in the community. The board approved the request. The board then approved purchase order increases for expenses at Pheasant Run Golf Club due to increased business and substantial increases in product costs. Food and beverage costs have increased more than could have been estimated. In order to ensure members and visitors receive a quality experience, it is necessary to make sure the club is stocked and well maintained. Next, if any of you have visited the summit since the tornado touchdown in the area, you will have noticed a number of trees that were damaged along Summit Parkway and in the Summit parking lot. The board approved a purchase order to Reliable Landscaping to remove the stumps from the many downed trees. In another storm-related item, the board approved an agreement for engineered drawings, a bid assistance, and construction management for the replacement of the 3 pavilions in Heritage Park South that were destroyed during the tornado. The intention is to re-pour concrete footings and connecting pathways and rebuild the 3 pavilion structures. Before their destruction, these pavilions were used daily. On weekdays, our summer camps used them, and on evenings and weekends, they were regularly rented out by the community for family events and celebrations. The board then approved the application for the 2024 fiscal year Urban and Community Forestry Program grant. This grant will provide Canton with additional funds to purchase diverse species of trees to be planted in multiple Canton parks. After the flooding and tornado, there were countless damaged and uprooted trees, and this grant will help to rebuild Canton's tree canopy. The last item before the board was approval of purchase order for professional architectural and engineering services for Preservation Park. As an integral part of the Canton Town Square at Cherry Hill project, Canton is investing in some of the community's most treasured assets, including the Village Square Park, the Arts Factory building, Cherry Hill School, trails, and Preservation Park itself. This part of the project includes schematic site and architectural designs, updated conceptual opinions and probable costs for each portion of the project, and will host meetings with the community stakeholders. Since losing the Katie Boyer Barn to a fire in May of 2021, a significant amount of time and energy has gone into determining a future for the site. Staff initially worked to secure renderings and concepts for a replacement barn that would avoid the significant drawbacks that accompanied the original, such as installing a fire suppression system, heating and cooling, plumbing, and special event amenities. Unfortunately, the addition of these required items drove the overall cost of such a structure beyond available resources, causing delays in the replacement process. While a simpler barn like its predecessor was considered, the previous barn had many programming challenges and was rarely used as a result. With this in mind, those involved in the planning process have transitioned to thoughts of a pavilion-type gathering space, which would be more conducive to farmers markets and larger community events. As such, initial concepts for Preservation Park included the movement of existing structures to create a more fluid layout of the property, as well as several other changes and amenities to make the space more viable. And that actually covers all general calendar items from the September 26th Board of Trustees meeting. If you would like to hear more in-depth discussion about any one of these items, you can always watch the full board meeting on the Canton Community Television channel on YouTube. Thank you for watching.